My name is Vladislav Karabash, and I'm a meat popsicle. My name is Vladislav Karabash, and I'm a recovering addict. All the things that I used to dream about when I was using, that I wish I had, are coming true for me today. I was born in Moldova. It used to be part of USSR. It's in between Ukraine and Romania. Well, what was tough about me growing up, I grew up in a war zone. There was a lot of violence, but mainly it was just chaos. When USSR fell apart, a lot of these smaller countries, everything just got, the mafia kind of took over the government, and the worst years of the country's history was when I was like around 10, 11, 12. It was pretty chaotic. There was no law and order. And a lot of the kids my age didn't have fathers, and a lot of them, actually, majority of them are dead. So it was pretty tough growing up in Moldova, specifically at that time when they separated from USSR. It was a hard decision for my mom to make, but she decided to send me here to live with my dad. At the time when I moved, my dad lived here in State College. He's kind of famous around here. He's an artist. They did a lot of murals around State College. Well, one of the most famous murals in State College, it's called Inspiration. I remember when my dad, they were doing this mural, Inspiration, in State College. There was a lot of news agencies and newspapers approaching my dad and our family. And they actually came to our house and interviewed all of us a little bit and wrote this article in the newspaper about my dad and his family and us. And it's not like it was the truth, but it wasn't the truth. They had to make it nice so it doesn't look so bad. And I was disappointed, I remember. I was like, they made it like, they twisted things to make us look like a perfect family without any problems. And they didn't put down that I moved here later. They're like, my dad immigrated with his 2 sons to America. And I wasn't even living with them anymore. They were living in State College, where behind the scenes there was like this hate relationship between me and my stepmom, my dad. But things have changed a lot. Well, there's this one mural, and it's just about kids. And he took a picture of me when I was like 5 years old. And my brother is on there, and there's other kids of other families that are on there. This is me when I was in kindergarten. There was just a picture of me. I was doing something in the gym, like climbing up the rope. Like, I've had a lot of resentments against my father, and he didn't raise me, and even when I moved here, I moved out of my parents' house when I was 15. I was still in high school. I got my own apartment in downtown because I didn't get along with our stepmom. Like, now we're really good friends, and we get along really well. I didn't have a productive life. Around 14, I started using. I started just like every other person, partying a lot, getting into drugs here and there. And in my 20s, it became really heavy. I was kind of like a small-time criminal in a way. I've worked construction. My first job I did, I was a subcontractor. I was like 16 years old. I worked for, on the summertime, I worked for different companies. We would travel a lot. And I would bounce back and forth throughout years. There were times when I would quit restaurant business and work construction for a year or two. And then construction involves a lot of traveling. I would get sick of traveling. I would be home more, so I'd get back into restaurant business. I also had a catering business with one of my friends. And here in State College, we had a business for 5 years, and we catered specifically to fraternities. We started expanding, and we did really well. And drugs and alcohol kind of took its toll and destroyed the business. My turning point, I got a third DUI and I started having pains in my stomach right here. And I was 31 years old, I remember. One morning I looked myself in the mirror. I remember thinking that if I'm going to continue living like this, that I'm just going to die in a couple of years. I would say for the first time in my life I admitted that I have a drinking problem. That's when I finally made a decision that this time around I'm going to, go to all the counselings, take advantage of an opportunity that government provides when it comes to programs, and I tried to collect as much information as I could to try to figure out how to live the rest of my life without using. I'm playing a role of superintendent / project manager in Philadelphia, and it's really challenging these days due to all the crime that's going on because it's right in the center of the city. And just working in the city is really rough because of the amount of space you have to store material. And right now, with the way the economy is and post-corona, a lot of deliveries are all messed up. You can't get certain material, and there's a lot of stress. Even the company we're working for is under a lot of stress. The project is behind, just like majority of the projects. And it's very challenging because the owners want the building complete. I have a lot of friends today. I enjoy life. And I do have bad days. And I do have sad moments in my life, but today I don't have to drink over it. I just realized that that's what life is. It's not going to be happy and exciting all the time. I'm going to celebrate 7 years on Memorial Day. And every year, things are just keep getting better. When I was younger, I just kept taking things. And now that I'm older and I'm able to give back, that's part of my goal, is to give back this energy that I've taken from the universe. I'm trying to be a role father to 5 kids that lost their father to the lifestyle that I used to live. And she's also pregnant. I can't wait to be a dad because I always wanted to be a father and I always wanted to have a family. And I always felt lonely and alone in the world. My goal was always to build a family and have a lot of friends and relatives. And until I stopped drinking, I couldn't attain that goal. I'm more of like a spiritual type of guy. My church is NA and AA. I'm not like super religious. I don't really like churches that much. But I do believe in God in my own way. I don't like to believe in coincidence. I like to believe that things happen for a reason. Somehow I meet Rhiannon and she's got 5 kids that need a father, and their father died from doing a lot of drugs and drinking, like the way I used to live. Like, is that a coincidence? But overall, I like to believe in magic. But I wouldn't say I have a really close relationship with my dad, like majority of fathers have with their kids because they raised them and they grew up with them. But overall, I'm grateful that my dad is still around. Over these past couple of years, we have developed, I would say, a good relationship. My message to anyone that's using, it's a hard life, and it's really, really hard to get out of it. But you got to make a decision and admit to yourself that you do have a problem with using. There are resources out there. My favorite one that worked for me is going to AA meetings and NA meetings. I've made a lot of friends in the rooms, and it helped me understand why I was using in the first place and how to live without using.